Thank you, and welcome everybody to today's presentation on understanding and demonstrating delay damages in construction. So just a little bit about myself. By training and education, I am a civil engineer. I graduated Drexel University. I've been practicing in the field for, it says 30 years. It's probably closer to 35 at this point. I've been involved in both construction management on site on large public projects. But most of my career, I've been involved in construction claims consulting, and I've been recognized as a testifying expert in both schedule delay analysis, as well as in today's topic, damages. So with that said, why don't we get into the topic and talk about the delay damages. And first of all, why do we want to even talk about it? And that's because most disputes do involve a delay component. And as they say, time is money. So when a project is delayed, there are monetary damages that are going to be incurred. And that's going to be by every party involved: the owner, the contractor, the subcontractors, the design professionals. Basically, everybody involved in the construction project is going to experience some sort of monetary damage to a greater or lesser extent when a project is delayed. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the various categories of delay damages. We're going to look at what's inside each of those categories. And then we're going to talk about how we quantify them. How do we put an amount to those damages? And importantly, how are the delay damages recovered? How do we recover the money? How do we get the money? It's easier to figure out what we've lost than it is to get it back, right? So let's start by looking at the various categories of delay damages. And they essentially can be put into three big buckets. And that would be direct damages, indirect damages, and the type of damages known as liquidated damages. When we talk about direct damages, we're talking about those damages that can be directly tied to a specific project. And as I say here, often a specific delay or event. And those damages include costs associated with job site labor, job site equipment, and job site materials. These damages, I said, they can be priced as a function of a task or as a function of time, depending upon the item or the circumstance. Obviously, today we're talking about delay, so we're focusing on the aspect of time. So when a project is delayed, equipment sits on the job longer. Materials can escalate in cost. Labor is on the project longer. So all of these items have a temporal component to them. And if an item can be tied to a specific project, that is what would be called a direct damage, directly related to a project. And then there are indirect damages. Those are damages that are incurred as a result of delay, but they can't really be tied to a specific project. And it's usually home office overhead. So for example, the accounting folks in the home office, they're not tracking their time to any specific project, yet the revenue from each project is what is paying their salaries. And the company relies on the revenue earned on that project to cover the salaries of those people. And there has to be a way, if that revenue is not coming in as planned, if there's an interruption in the cash flow, then there is a damage, because now the home office overhead is no longer being covered, or to use the term that's used in the industry, absorbed by that project. And then we have the third category, which are liquidated damages. And that's an agreed amount. And I say it's usually on a per day basis. It could be on a per week basis. And in the case of certain power projects, it could even be on an hourly basis. But it's an agreed to amount on a time basis for owner recoverable damages for contractor responsible delays. And those liquidated damages would be specified in the contract itself, where it would state for every day of delay, the contractor will pay the owner whatever amount that may be, say $10,000 or whatever.